All right, now that I got that out the way, I can get into what we need to talk about. And it's just something that I feel like I was led to for myself, right? So, hey y'all, welcome me back to OKC. It's been a while, but we are here now. Take a bow. Okay, anyways, while I'm bullshit. So, I am back. I am back. I am back. Life has been whack, but it's okay because I'm black, and that's, a fact. But, anyways, phone exploded, bull. Life has been bulling. Trying to get my life together, bull. Face, a bull. Health, a bull. But, anyways, life is good. Because, life be life, and but it's always, it's always gone, So you just got to go, you know, with the flow. Anyways, back to what I started off talking about. I feel like the Lord, God's, because I would like to believe I have a real conversation, a real relationship, not conversation. I feel like I have real conversations, but a real relationship with the Most High. Um, at least I would hope it's the Most High, right? And I would know if it was not. Lord, send me a sign if that's the case. We know how that goes. Some people can't differentiate. Ooh, words. But nonetheless, I feel like I have a pretty decent relationship with God, the Most High. Even when I'm disappointed in life, and life be life, and even when I get disappointed in people, because I'm a human, and people be people, and um, I feel like no matter what, when I go to God, He always shows me, tells me, or sends me signs. So it's either verbatim, or it's a nudge, or it's a gut feeling, or it's a synchronicity, or, you know, just something that sticks out. I can glance at a book and a word will stick out, and that'll lead me to a rabbit hole of downloads, as y'all like to call it, or whatever. So, anyways, I had one of these moments, and it just kind of led me on a little spiral. And I would like to call this three sides to the story. Now, when we hear that, we say it's your side, their side, and the truth. Which, yes, it is, because everybody has their side. And then there is the truth, which is their sides brought together with the God vision of everything, right? But this is a little bit different. So it's, yes, it is that there's three sides to the story: your side, their side, the truth. There's also a different aspect of three sides to the story where there is your side, their side. Well, how do I explain this? Where there's three sides, but there's two sides: yours and theirs, because yours is the truth. And in this aspect, it's a idea, that you are the type of person, or they are the type of person, that you're going to tell it all, even if it means embarrassing yourself or admitting to something that you don't want to admit to, or exposing or putting yourself in a vulnerable situation, or maybe looking stupid. But you're going to tell it because it's important for everyone to have all of the facts. And then there's the other side of, there's another three sides to the story. And I feel like this is kind of where this is leading to. All of this is combined, but nonetheless, the side of what the truth is, what your situation, what your experience is, right? The truth of your experience, their preconception or misconception or perception of your experience, and the truth. So, all three, and it's like three sides of the three sides of the story. So, all three sides of the three sides of the story fit. And if we want to do math, 3, 3, 6, 9, which there's a gradation, a graduation to it. And I feel like whoever is reaching this is at a place where you have graduated. You are no longer at the base, you're no longer in the middle, you're at a higher elevation plateau. And it's not to say you're on some pedestal or something, or you're some know-it-all, or you're perfect, or you're like the chosen one, whatever. You're just at a place in life where I know I've been here, I've experienced this, this is what I felt during this experience, this is what I learned during this experience, and this is what I take with me in the future, in my current, in my present. This shaped me into who I am. This has caused me to be this person. And because of that, I can now put this into the world and give me authentically to the world. And some people don't believe that you are authentically who you say you are. And some people know that you are who you say you are, but they don't care that you are who you say you are, because they need to have you in a certain light. They need you as a certain character in that story. Um. So I first, before I get a little bit deeper, if you don't, sometimes I'm urged to binge certain things. I really am not a big TV person. I do get into TV sometimes, certain things, to decompress from the real world, right? I go to the fake world to decompress. But I haven't watched American Idol in so long. And that's kind of where my rabbit hole took me, binging American Idol. And I urge anybody who is tuning into this and hearing these words to check it out up until you feel like you need to turn it off. And I say that because everybody is different, and what you're going to receive from it is going to be different. What I receive from it may not be what you receive, but I also have a separate message for what I think collectively a lot of people may be going through right now. And it's something that I actually touched in Taurus slightly. And I actually, in that first video, I did mention to tune into this one if they saw it come up. But there's cycles that are completing, and it may not feel like it. You may feel like you're going backwards or you're starting over, but it's actually a completion. Sometimes you have to start over or start from ground level, do the root work, do the grounding, the ground level to get to that next plateau. Um, Building up foundation, building up strength. But nonetheless, there is a cycle that is repeating. A lot of things right now might seem familiar or seem like deja vu, or you may find yourself going back to things that you used to do or used to bring you comfort during times that you were down. And you may not necessarily be down or in a place where you feel stuck or down right now, but you're coming across those synchronicities of like, oh, I remember this was when this, or this, hearing this song brings back this. But there are some people right now who are getting little synchronicities that are reminding them of things and triggering things in them that they are now realizing they have not fully healed from or need to heal from, because they know they have not healed from it. They've ignored healing it and kind of been trying to coast through life and ignore it, put it on the back burner because maybe it might be difficult, or maybe it's embarrassing, or maybe it makes you feel stupid, or maybe whatever. Maybe you feel like people are going to look at you in another light. Maybe you have to go and you feel like you have to go and heal it with somebody else because it involves somebody else. I don't know the reason, the rhyme, the cause, but what I do feel is if you tune into American Idol, start from whatever the earliest episode that you're able to. I think I started at number 5. That's the earliest I could go without going to extreme measures, going outside of what I felt like I was called to do. I felt like I was called to start at 5 anyway. So start where you're called. If you can start at episode 1, start at episode 1. Maybe there's something in there for you. But where I started was episode 5. And I feel like when you listen, there are going to be things that maybe remind you that you still are insecure in some places, that you still have mother wounds or father wounds or sibling wounds, or that you still may struggle with some type of addiction or habits or thought pattern, or I don't want to say disability or unability. You struggle with an ability that you don't know how to regulate, correlate, maneuver, possibly. And by listening to not only some of these people's stories, but the music, it's going to, I'm hearing unleash, release, relinquish. Why do I want to say that? What's that word? 1354. Um, Not revelations. That's not the word. So I completely just blanked on what I was talking about because I went to go Google this word. So I was going to say revel. Revel means to enjoy oneself in a lively and noisy way, especially with drinking and dancing. They spent the evening reveling with their guests. To carouse, to take intense pleasure or satisfaction, revel in the choir after everyone had gone, boisterous merrymaking or festivity, to take great pleasure. Okay, so maybe not to drink, but to dance, to sing in a noisy way, to release, to express trapped emotions, bottled up emotions, hidden emotions. So abuse, anything of that nature that you may have not shared with others, even wanted to share with yourself. I feel like this is going to, and I say I feel like because I can't, nobody knows for certain. I'm not no freaking, say what you want what you say. I don't know. But anyway, somebody going on a tangent because the world is just crazy. God. Okay, help me because I'm feeling like I don't want to talk about that, but why? Can we stop relying on people like me who, yes, we get up here, no, no, and I really do get bothered when everybody thinks and says like you are a gift from God. You are, because you are molded, crafted, imagined from the greatest one of all, the greatest mind that thought you into being. Didn't even have to speak you into being, thought you into being amazingly, abundantly great. You are a blessing in itself, yes. But to just sit here and act like we just freaking got the answers, the keys to life, to everything, we don't. I'm not even gonna sit here like I do. And I feel like I'm very skilled in a lot of things that I don't even share with y'all, that I don't even lean into, because right now I've realized that the world has really gone cuckoo. So because of that, y'all, and no, I'm just kidding, not y'all, but y'all. And while I would do a disservice not to be real with y'all, I would do a disservice to myself to be too real with y'all. And that's just to keep it funky. That's to keep it too real with y'all. So, with that being said, um, I will always tell you I don't know. I will always, I don't care how on the, I don't, for one, I trust everything that I say to you. But I know I can't trust people. And people like to spin, turn, take words, take things, take it out of context, refuse to do the research themselves, have their own thought patterns, things to stuff. I don't have time for none of that. None of that at all. And I feel like, in general, we as a people, a collective, people who search for these videos, come across these videos, who are led to these videos, who seek out self help, anything, um, in any regard, spiritual, religious, anti spiritual, anti religious, whatever. If your self help comes from music, from therapy, from painting, from coloring, from throwing a basketball, that whatever, right? That's cool. That's dope. But I would never say my way is this way. That is this the only way. That da 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 da. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to answer for everything I tell you. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have to stand, and I don't care what y'all say and how y'all feel about that. But that's one thing I do believe wholeheartedly, that no matter what is on the other side of this life, in that next round, I'm gonna have to answer for everything I've done in this life, for every ripple effect that I have made, for every ill word that I've spoken, every good word I've spoken, good deed, bad seed that I sown, good seed that I sown. I'm gonna have to answer for everything I've done, every idle word, every productive word. So this is why I always urge you to do your own research, to get your own relationship. And it's as simple as just saying, hey, God, like, bro, I want a relationship. I want, like, inconsistently Get around people who have real relationship, because we can talk about they're in the church. That don't mean they got relationship. We can talk about, oh, I pray to God, but is it a relationship? And how, what a God? We know there's many gods. Let's be clear. There's plenty of gods in this world. Plenty. Plenty of gods on this earth. Plenty of humans that think they are gods. What God are you convening with? Which God are you communicating with? I have a strong feeling who I'm communicating with, because he, she, they let me know on a daily, within seconds, minutes, sometimes not at all, which is also God. I don't like it. I don't love it. We talk about it. Oh, we talk about it. But that's God. That's life. So, nonetheless, three sides to the story. Back to what I was saying. Three sides. What you know about your situation, what they believe about your situation, and what the truth is about your situation. So, like I said, healing, a lot of us need healing. And I say us because we all need healing. Is a never ending cycle. I know I need healing. I got healing I need to do. Shit I need to work on. It's life. Hell, not shit. I need to work continuously. I'm working on my health and my. I gotta self-regulate my body every day, because I have less organs than a lot of people in this world. Vital organs that you need to survive and thrive in this world. But nonetheless, I do what I need to do. At least try to. Not perfect. Every day is a learning curve. I learn new things of what I can eat, can't eat, can take, can't take. It is what it is. Um, you're in a position where you may be starting over, relearning, rechanging, revamping. It's okay. And this isn't from a place of rock bottom. I lost everything. This is okay. I might need to switch up my website. Might need to switch up my videos. I might need to switch up the route I take to work. I might need to switch up my breakfast routine. I might need to switch up the drawers I'm wearing. I don't know what it is. But so you just it's a revamp. It's not I everything was demolished and destroyed. It's just a revamp. It's something you've already done, something you've already accomplished, that you can go in, even if you do have to start over. You go in and do it like that because you already know what to do. You got to go in and redo that code, but you already know the code like the back of your hand because you didn't had to go in and retweak it and restudy it and rebuild it so many times. You know how to put that code back in. Also, you may be being called to go back, or you may be being called to something from the past. Like I think I said that before, that you were drawn to um, a song in particular, maybe a song, because music is a big theme of this. And as we know, the author of confusion ain't God, but the prince of this earth, the wanderer, the lost sheep of this earth, the empty vessels of this, the not the empty vessels, the vessellessness, the vesselless ones of this earth. Music was a big part and a big part of his agenda. and how he infiltrates the masses. Mm. Be very vigilant of what you're letting into your vessel. And this goes for via your mouth, but most importantly, your ears, what you're listening to, what you're telling yourself, your internal dialogue, but also what you're listening to. Your soul is at stake. That's another video. I don't know why this is. Because I'm talking about this, I have a song called Mete Illuminati. It means Illuminati. You know, the take on Tupac killed the Illuminati. Illuminati means the enlightened ones. Illuminate, to light, to bring to light, to illuminate the enlightened ones. To enlighten back then with the Illuminati is to bring all the hidden things to the forefront, all the secret societies to the forefront, so that people would know what was going on behind closed doors in governments and all of that. Nowadays, because we have lack of understanding, we speak about the Illuminati and all this other secret society shit. When yes, there are secret societies. There are like the Bilderberg group and all these different societies that are the 1%ers, the 5%, the 3%, the seven families, the three families. Um, there are, or it was like 13 families too. There are different groups, sectors, 33rd degrees. There are different groups, sectors, cults, um, fraternities, sororities, whatever, organizations, yes, that are do do and work do the work of iniquity and um not all, and then some do it unknowingly, which that's kind of hard, right? Because if you enter into something, you should know what you're entering into. But let's understand, we all enter into contracts foolishly and need to pray ourselves out of them, whether it be jobs, relationships, family dynamics, what have you. We've all entered into corrupted and corruptible contracts and relationships with people and things. But nonetheless, there are groups out there that are on that. Um, but how we reference the Illuminati today, we don't reference in the right term. But that was another video for another time. But I had to hit on that. Um, I'm sorry, cause I be being called to go on these random tangents, and then when I get back to what I originally was starting to talk about, it's like that the powers that be, Satan, the little devils, the spirits, they be knowing and be trying to mess it up. That's why I be having camera issues, audio issues. We just spent thousands of dollars on systems and all this shit, fixing up, building up studios, hard handwork, labor, and work. Got the video footage. I then created videos to try to, show the progress. I didn't put in floor, handmade from the bottom. You wasn't shooting with me in the gym from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Nah, some real shit. And Satan be knowing, the evil powers be knowing, the little workers of iniquity be knowing the shit. Right? You're killing me, Smalls. They be small. They be small. That's why I'm saying like the pits is where they going. But nonetheless, back to what I was saying. Three sides of a story. Let's get into it. So it comes up in three songs. And the songs, maybe songs you've heard of, maybe songs you haven't. But they're all kind of corresponding, but they're all separate but equal. Balanced but separate. I don't really know how to put it. So your story, her story, his story, what they think, and then the true story, right? So this is kind of your viewpoint, how you feel. Also, it may have some symptoms, okay? Some views from them or the truth. You know, it may have all three, but this is kind of from your point. A symptom, a sign of the existence of something, especially of an undesirable situation. Interesting. It says a effect only can be reported by symptoms can only be reported by the person experiencing them. They cannot be observed by a healthcare provider or other person and do not show up on medical tests. Some examples of symptoms are pain, nausea, fatigue, and anxiety. It correlates to the presence of something. Cannot be experienced or seen or told by anybody else. But it's funny because we know a lot of times when we go to medical professionals, they love to say, they access our symptoms and then they tell us, that's not where we're experiencing. But that's a story for another time. Never mind. So, anyways, we have Never Give Up, Yolanda Adams. And I want to sing it so bad, but I'm not going to sing it. I promise I won't. I probably am, but forgive me if I do. And my voice is fucked up because I've been recording music all week. So, yes, if I start singing, I'm going to be hoarse. Visions that can change the world. Trapped inside an ordinary girl. Remember, I said this is from your point of view. The first person point of view, and then the next one is going to be from the other person, from the outsiders looking in. So this is you in your world, in your situation, feeling your symptoms. Visions that can change the world, trapped inside just an ordinary girl. She looks just like me, too afraid to dream out loud. A symptom. Afraid, fear, anxiety. And though it's set for your idea, it won't make sense to everybody. You need courage now if you're going to persevere. So this is saying whatever you've been going through, you've been dealing with, you've been trying to accomplish, people don't understand. They see it from their point of view. You need courage now if you're going to persevere to fulfill divine purpose. You got to answer when you're called. So don't be afraid to face the world against all odds. Keep the dream alive. Don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop. And never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Don't give up. Every victory comes in time. Work today to change tomorrow. It gets easier. So this is like kind of Taurus read too. Who's to say that you can't fly? Every step you take, you get closer to your destination. You can feel it now. Don't you know you're almost there? To fulfill divine purpose, you got to answer when you called. So don't be afraid to face the world against all odds. Keep the dream alive, don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop. And never give up. Don't ever give up on you. So this is you encouraging yourself. You trying to remind yourself, like, why are you doing this? Why are you here? Do you feel this? You're passionate about this. You love this. You feel like you can change the world. Do you feel like this is your purpose? You feel like God put you here for this reason. He created you for this. You are placed here for this. You keep being called back to this. The cycle keeps repeating on this. You keep being drawn to this. These are the synchronicities in this. So you hold on to your faith. You keep going. You keep telling yourself, one more day, one more step, one more moment. I can do it. I can keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep fighting. Who holds the pieces? Oh, my bad. I think I've missed the beats. So let me read back. Retract. Let me go back. To fulfill divine purpose, you got to answer when you're called. So don't be afraid to face the world against all odds. Keep the dream alive. Don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop. And never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way, but you got to keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart to the light and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Don't give up. Who holds the pieces to complete the puzzle? The answer that can solve a mystery. The key that can unlock your understanding. It's all inside of you. You have everything you need. So keep the dream alive. Don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop. And never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way, but you got to keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart to the light, and don't give up. So I feel like that's you reminding and being reminded to not give up, to don't let the darkness, the pain, the trauma, the trials, the tribulations to overtake you, to overcome you. I get it. I've been there, baby. OMGE. There. Done it over and over. Rock bottom? Yes. So when I say this ain't rock bottom for you, because I ain't at rock bottom. And if you up here, you're on my level, or you're getting to my level. So if you've experienced rock bottom, baby, that's rock bottom is not coming no more. You've experienced rock bottom multiple times. You've been at the bottom learning lessons multiple times. Maybe not the same lesson. Maybe it was an extended level. New levels, new devils. You've experienced the new levels, new devils multiple times. This ain't it. And you could mark my words on that one. This ain't that. I'm very confident in saying that. Yeah, no. There have been stumbling blocks, whether it's natural or supernatural, whether it's naturally supernatural, meaning whether a natural person is playing in the supernatural, whether it's God doing it, whether it's the workers of iniquity doing it, Satan and his little helpers, or whatever his name is today, tomorrow, whatever he chooses it to be. He has so many different names, and he can be anything and everything you want him to be. And I say it like that for a reason. Stumbling blocks. There have been things every turn. You do this, something goes wrong. You fix that, something goes wrong. You say that gets turned around. You do that. There have blocks but you've been jumping over them. You've been leaping. You've been moving. You've been listening to the call. You've been listening to the word. You've been listening to the voice, that inner call, that gut feeling, that gut reaction, that instinct. You've been moving. You've been going with the flow. You've been ebbs and flows. You've been going. It's a roller coaster, but you've been moving. You might have got sick. You a little nausea. You've been feeling the symptoms, a little nausea, a little anxiety, a little fear, but you kept going. You held the faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. You kept going. You kept going. You kept going. You kept going. And because you kept going, this is where I feel where, yeah, maybe it was naturally supernatural, and maybe somebody had their hands in it, and they were either praying on your downfall or praying on you to make you have a downfall, and they're trying to figure out, how are you still making it? How are they still? I did this, I said that, I maneuvered this, I manipulated that, I got that person to not like them, I got that person to walk away from them, I did this, I ruined their job, I ruined that opportunity, I swooped in with it, I stole from them, I took their identity, I did, and they can't figure out, well, how do they keep walking through the fire and going through the fire? How did they make it through the sea? How are they? They don't realize God is parting that sea for you and closing it right back up. They thought they cornered you at the water, but you Moses. And in this case, you ain't freeing nobody but yourself. This is a solo exodus. You're not taking the masses with you. It is not to say that you aren't here for the masses. But in this instance, you are not, the masses didn't want to come with you. They trying to hold you back. That's who's trying to pull you back, the masses. The people you try to take with you, and by masses, I mean your family, your friends, your lovers. The people that you wanted to take with you, that you tried to release, that you tried to free, they're the ones that tried to corner you at the water, not realizing that God was going to open it right back on up. Moses wasn't the only one he was freeing. Moses wasn't the only one he was saving. He ain't only come to Moses in the burning bush. He parted the sea. He led you through the waters, through the turmoil, through the chaos, through the emotions, through the upheaval, through the mental battle, and gave you mental fortitude. He gave you strength to keep going, to fight it, to block it. Everything they had to try to tear you down mentally, it didn't work. They tried to come for, maybe they tried to come for your face. Maybe they did beauty magic. Hell, if somebody did that shit to me, shit, I guess. Because that shit don't, maybe they did beauty magic. Maybe they tried to fuck with your face. Maybe they just spoke bad things about you. Maybe they tried to fuck with your finances and make you lose your job, home, car. Maybe they tried to, make you lose your life, your health. Maybe they tried to ruin your relationship, your marriage. Maybe they didn't want to, maybe they tried to take your kids. Maybe they tried to ruin you and put you, maybe they just kept throwing rocks, trying to bury you. And they didn't realize all them rocks they was throwing, God already moved you out the way, right? You weren't even under the path. So they had built up so many rocks, they couldn't see over that rock wall. So they just throwing. And the whole time they throwing, it's just, y'all just collecting rocks. You done built a fucking house with that shit. You done built a wall with that shit. So by the time they look over, they decide to, they got to go through the struggle of climbing up the mountain of rocks now. They get up the mountain of rocks. And they realize, this motherfucker. First of all, I'm too fucking high. How am I going to get down? I need help to get down from here. The only person that can help me is the person on the other side of this wall. Wait, they got a wall? How they built a wall with these rocks? They built a castle? That's a pretty castle. Fuck that castle. I don't like that castle. How? I mean, I can climb on it. I'm gonna climb on it. But if I climb on a wall, how I'm gonna get down from that wall? I can't get down. I can't. I need. Can you? I. I but I gotta get. How am I gonna get? If I gotta get down from this wall. I mean, I can go back over the rocks, but if I go over the rocks, I might slip and fall and tumble down the rocks because it's not stable. And if I go down, I'm gonna go down because that's not stable. But if I stay on the wall, I gotta ask them for help, and they gotta give me help. They gotta give me a rope that I gotta use to climb down, or a ladder or something to get me down, and I'ma still hang myself on that rope. I'ma still trip over that ladder. And this is really real life, right? And I didn't understand how real life this shit is. Because I look at life and I examine life and I'm not perfect. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I ain't gonna say I get back with everybody, but the one person I got my get back deserved it to my account. And, it is what it is. I'm not a perfect person. I've made mistakes. I've done fucked up things. I have plotted revenge. Oh, I've plotted. Um, and I've gotten angry with people. I've spoke bad things. I've had to go pray over and ask God to, take back. Maybe not no death shit or nothing like that, but I hope you get back with you. Of course, I've done that. That color purple snake eye shit. Definitely. Until you do right by me, everything you was gonna crumble. And did, and then went right to God. I'm sorry, God, because that ain't right. That's witchcraft. It is. Because people gonna get that shit regardless. What you give is what you get back. But nonetheless, people are really, I've experienced it from my own accounts of people just being people and being vicious and vindictive and evil just because they're able to and can. And we look at this world and it's just getting worse. Right? And no matter prayer is gonna change that. And I'm not saying don't pray. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. But what I'm saying is it's supposed to happen. Who said God was gonna destroy the world? God don't have to destroy the world. He got humans to do that for him. And from dust we came, dust we shall return. Um, and we know dust is imperfect. You got rocks, pebbles, different grains of sands and dirt particles, and you got germs and debris and trash and what have you. Now, while the earth started out rich and fertile and amazingly lush and giving, we have depleted earth so much that she probably don't even want us back. We depleted ourselves. Gonna get put in the ground, gonna spit us right back out. But nonetheless, I'm on a tangent again. So this is more so your response to them, right? So this is another Yolanda Adams song. And this is kind of kind of your response to them. It's also your point of view. It's also the full scope, but it's kind of, hey, this is kind of what I do. This is who I am. This is how I've made it this far. And maybe you don't understand. Maybe you can't see why I trust in God so much, why I trust in a solution, why I trust that everything will be okay even when it's not okay, because it's always been okay. Even when it hasn't been okay. I look back on my life, and I'm talking literally about my life. I look back and I look at the situations where it wasn't okay. And I look back and I'm like, well, look at me now. It was okay. It turned out okay. Yes, I might have went through that.